question, is DOGE making dating more difficult in the district? A new article in Axios says maybe.
Okay, this is interesting. It argues that many are finding it harder to make a match, to find a match since the new administration has taken office. In fact, it's even prompting some to change up their dating profiles. The author of that article, Axios reporter Mimi Montgomery, joining us now live. Mimi, good morning to you. Such a fascinating topic, and it's interesting to us how this administration has allowed people to speak more freely about, what they believe in or what they want in the dating scene. Who did you talk to and what did you find?
Yeah, no, definitely. So I spoke with a couple matchmakers and a couple of single folks living here in the district. And like you said, it's really fascinating. It's not news that dating has become very partisan over the last almost decade, right? But it seems like it's even more polarized than we saw before. DC itself tends to overwhelmingly vote blue in elections, and so there was a lot of tension during the last administration between a lot of these liberal residents and some of the Trump staffers coming in. But now that just is even more heightened in this administration. Matchmakers and singles tell me, and that's because a lot of Trump's policies, his executive orders, which he came swinging out of the gate with as soon as he was in office, have really sort of felt very personal to a lot of Washingtonians. A lot of federal workers had been laid off, and that could be these people themselves or someone they know. And Trump has, had a lot of target policies that target the city directly. So things feel even more personal this time, and the tension feels stronger than ever.
We've been saying it's even prompting people to change up their dating bios. How does that appear now on the dating bios?
Right. So some of the singles I spoke with said that, when they're swiping on apps, they've seen in some bios that people are saying, I've been laid off by DOGE. Like, can we do a free date because I'm trying to budget money now? Like, can we go for a walk in the park or something like that? And that some people, in typical Washington fashion have, even been trying to use the dating apps to network, right? So in some bios, it said, if it turns out that this isn't a romantic connection, I have been laid off, and so would love to maybe use this connection as for networking opportunities. So people really are sort of, putting it all out there and sort of being very open about their situations.
Now, are you finding that people of different parties can make it work in a dating scenario when you speak to everybody?
Yes, so I did not speak with any couples who, were opposite sides of the aisle. And, really overwhelmingly, a lot of the matchmakers said that they're hearing from folks that they're not even interested in peering across the aisle to find a partner. It really seems like there is sort of this highly partisan line drawn down between dating right now, where a lot of folks kind of don't want to cross it. And one of the matchmakers told me that a deal breaker these days isn't even I voted for Trump for some of these liberal folks, but they don't even want to date someone or be matched with someone who owns a Tesla.
Wow. Okay, so it is definitely
there's a big line
somewhat
drawn there.
Like Congress. Yeah. This happens to look very partisan here. All right. In the 20 seconds we have left, what's the future here? Can we find romance in D.C. these days?
Wow. $1 million question, right? I mean, I think we'll have to see what happens, with Trump's policies and, a lot of these federal workers and, what continues to happen here in the district. I think that will really be sort of a large tell as to what we can expect going forward.
Oh, Mimi Montgomery with Axios. Thanks so much. Yes, it's very fascinating. Great article that you have written, and thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.